Nobody expected the New Orleans Saints quarterback room to flip the script this fast. Spencer Rattler, once written off as a developmental piece, has suddenly taken control of the most important battle in camp. While all eyes were focused on veterans and bigger names, it's Rattler who's moving with urgency, firing clean passes, and making split-second reads like a starter. He's not just managing reps, he's commanding the offense. And the shocking part, he's the only one so far who hasn't taken a single third-team snap. What nobody's talking about is how quickly Rattler has separated himself, not just with numbers, but with confidence. 2 perfect passing days in the first 3 practices. 9 for 9 on day 1, 10 for 10 on day 3. These aren't padded sessions, but the other QBs were running the same plays and couldn't match that output. Rattler hit Rashid Shaheed in stride on a slant that turned into a touchdown. Then he dropped a beauty to tight end Michael Jacobson on a deep cross. And while he's still figuring out red zone reads, the rhythm and anticipation on his throws already look pro-ready. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Tyler Shuck isn't fading away. He's lurking, waiting for his opening, and what he does next might flip this entire race on its head. So how close is he really? And why are coaches quietly watching his deep ball with extra attention? Let's get into that. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Saints and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Tyler Shuck isn't leading the battle, but what's happening behind the scenes might be even more important. While Spencer Rattler made headlines with his early precision, Shuck has quietly built momentum with one thing that's hard to coach: elite ball placement. One throw on day 3 turned heads instantly. A full-speed crossing route by Juwan Johnson, 3 defenders closing in, and Shuck dropped it perfectly along the sideline. The window was shrinking fast, but he hit it like he's been in the league for years. It wasn't just a highlight, it was a warning. What nobody realizes is that Shuck has already stacked 2 red zone touchdowns to Rashid Shaheed during 7-on-7 drills, tight spaces, quick reads, and 0 room for error. And even though he's working with fewer snaps than Rattler, every throw is leaving a mark. 11 completions on 20 attempts might not sound flashy, but the placement, velocity, and timing are standing out in film review. His ability to drop the ball into tight coverage is starting to shift conversations inside the building. And unlike Rattler, Shuck has already cycled through third-team reps, which may be part of a longer plan to prep him for more. But the most underrated part? Shuck hasn't even hit his stride yet. Coaches are watching him closely, and with padded practices around the corner, his strengths, deep throws under pressure, and throwing on the run could shift this battle fast. The question now is simple. If Shuck gets a heavier workload this week, does he have enough time to take the lead? What comes next might change everything. There's a hidden pattern in Saints camp that nobody's talking about, and it's buried in the snap counts. Spencer Rattler leads the group with 47 total reps, but right behind him is rookie Tyler Shuck with 39, followed closely by Jake Haener at 38. On paper, that looks balanced. But when you dig deeper, you start to see how the staff is rotating quarterbacks with surgical precision. Some days are heavy, others intentionally light. It's not random. It's part of a quiet strategy to test how each quarterback handles rhythm, pressure, and limited opportunity. Tyler Shuck already experienced a light day with just 9 total snaps. Haener had one on day 1. Rattler, however, hasn't been scaled back yet. That matters, because it's not just about production. It's about how players respond when their rhythm is disrupted. When the pads come on and the reps get tighter, every throw becomes more valuable. The Saints are watching more than completions. They're watching how quickly these quarterbacks reset after adversity, how they lead when the spotlight isn't on them, and how efficiently they command each rep, whether it's with the first unit or the developmental group after practice. The rotation isn't only revealing strengths, it's exposing weaknesses. Jake Haener, who's not a rookie, is showing solid command but hasn't separated himself yet. So now, all eyes turn to the next padded session. Will Rattler finally rotate down? Will Shuck get a full team workload? What happens during the next round of snaps could swing the quarterback race in a completely different direction. Spencer Rattler might be leading now, but the margin is razor thin, and the real test hasn't started yet. Everything so far has happened in non-contact sessions, with clean pockets and no live pass rush. But when the pads come on, the entire dynamic changes. Pressure becomes real, timers shrink, decision-making speeds up. And the question hovering over Rattler is simple. Can he maintain control when defenders are allowed to collapse the pocket? Because if he flinches, this lead vanishes fast. The one area where Rattler hasn't looked sharp is the red zone. While he's been surgical in open field drills, inside the 20-yard line, things get tighter, and his efficiency is dropped. It's not just about accuracy down there. It's about anticipation, quick reads, and taking calculated risks. Shuck, the rookie, already has 2 red zone scores under his belt. That's the gap Rattler needs to close immediately. And with padded practices bringing more physicality, this weakness could either get fixed or exposed in front of coaches looking for separation. What happens next will define his camp. If Rattler continues to hit short and intermediate throws while improving in tight spaces, the job stays his to lose. But one rough session under pressure, one off day with late reads, and momentum could shift instantly. Because while Shuck is chasing him, there's still another name on the board with just enough consistency to be a factor, and the coaching staff hasn't made any promises about where this race ends. So now the spotlight gets even hotter. This quarterback competition isn't just about talent, it's about system, and Klint Moore is quietly changing everything behind the scenes. The moment he arrived as head coach, the Saints' offense took on a new identity: faster pace, smarter structure, and a relentless focus on putting each player in position to succeed. It's no coincidence that all 3 quarterbacks are getting more meaningful reps per day, despite the crowded depth chart. Moore's system is designed to squeeze the most out of every practice minute, and that's exactly what's happening right now. The difference is showing up in how each quarterback is being asked to play to their own strengths. Rookie Shuck isn't running a watered-down script. He's throwing deep, working option routes, and being tested like a starter. Rattler is being pushed to speed up his decisions and hit all 3 levels of the field. Even Jake Haener is getting to showcase his quick trigger and timing reads and midfield concepts. This isn't about who fits the playbook best. Moore is adjusting the playbook to see which quarterback can handle the pressure, the tempo, and the chaos that comes with running a modern NFL offense. But the most important change isn't visible in the stat sheet. It's in the pace of the practices. Moore wants this offense to move like the 2025 Pacers: fast, aggressive, relentless, and with every drill, he's pushing the tempo higher. Quarterbacks don't huddle as often. Communication is sharper, and every rep feels like a real game scenario. That tempo is building pressure, and the one who thrives in it will separate from the rest. The next few days might not just define the QB battle. They might show us who's built for Moore's system long-term. While the quarterback race grabs headlines, a different kind of battle is quietly reshaping the Saints' offense. It's the unsung names, players most fans barely know, who are making the throws count and changing the rhythm of practice. One of them is tight end Michael Jacobson. At 6'6" with a basketball background, he's become a safety net across the middle. On day 3, he hauled in a deep touchdown from Rattler, separating late and finishing through contact. That catch wasn't a fluke. Jacobson is stacking plays, and with Foster Moreau still working back to full strength, his window is wide open. Then there's Mason Tipton, a second-year wide receiver who's flashing again after injuries slowed him last year. He's been on the same page with Rattler throughout camp. One route in particular stood out: a sharp outbreaking pattern along the sideline where Rattler released the ball before Tipton even turned his head. That kind of chemistry doesn't happen overnight. It's built in film rooms, post-practice drills, and reps that most fans never see. And with so many eyes on Shaheed and Olave, Tipton is quietly carving out real trust from the quarterbacks. The depth isn't just helping quarterbacks look good, it's giving coaches more reasons to shuffle personnel and build competition at every level. These under-the-radar names are forcing their way into the conversation, and if they keep showing up, it's going to complicate final roster cuts in the best way possible. The quarterback competition isn't just about who gets the first snap in Week 1. It's about defining the identity of the New Orleans Saints for the next 5 years. Rattler, entering his second NFL season, has proven he can execute the offense with sharp timing and precision. But rookies like Shuck are built for long-term development, and his arm talent is already opening up areas of the field that were off-limits last year. This isn't just about numbers. It's about leadership under stress, and how each signal caller responds when the structure starts to break down. Jake Haener's consistency still keeps him in the mix, but the staff knows this decision carries weight beyond 2025. Klint Moore's offense demands tempo, vision, and adaptability. Whoever leads this unit needs to do more than hit open receivers. They need to elevate the players around them, read defenses mid-motion, and thrive when game plans fall apart. The reason this camp matters so much is because there's no safety net. Derek Carr is gone. There is no veteran waiting in the wings. The future is now, and this coaching staff is building the new era from scratch. So here's the question that matters most. Will the Saints bet on early efficiency or long-term upside? Has Spencer Rattler already done enough to win this job, or is Tyler Shuck about to flip the narrative once the real hitting begins? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who should start Week 1? Do you see a breakout season coming for one of these quarterbacks? And most importantly, is this the most wide-open Saints QB battle we've seen in the last decade? Let us know what you think. The pads go on next, and the real answers are coming soon.